With that, go ahead, Greg. Let's get started.
Hey, thanks, Don, and big hello to everybody. Happy Wednesday to everyone. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far, and looking forward to telling you about our short-term home health care plan. One of the things that we know about insurance, whether we're selling life insurance, health insurance, or some ancillary product like we're talking about today, your clients generally call you when it's a little bit too late. They're not going to call you and say, hey, I need some home health care. Can you help me? They're going to call you after they've already had some kind of an incident. And we all know with just about any type of insurance, it's just too late to apply once you've already had some kind of a health event. So really looking forward to telling you about the product today. If you're not familiar with GTL, we've got you covered with just about anything that you need. If you're not familiar with the company itself, we've been around for quite some time, since 1936. AM Best rating of A-, excellent, zero debt on our balance sheet. So really solid company from that standpoint. What we're really known for is creating ancillary products like the one we're going to talk about today. We're also known for getting agents contracted quickly, processing business very quickly, paying commissions on time, and most importantly, paying claims quickly. With regard to the coverage we're chatting about today, whenever we try to create a product, we try to make sure it's got bells and whistles that nobody else has in the marketplace. This one does have those bells and whistles. Looking forward to telling you about it. It's got a really creative name, short-term home health care insurance. What a creative name that is there. So what we lack for in creativity with naming our products, we hope to make up for with nice features and benefits. Something that we like to do to help agents like yourself get the cross-sale started, make it easy so that you're not spending a ton of time trying to explain how the product works. We have created some tools for you guys to use. We've got a consumer video I'll share with you today. We have an infographic I'll share with you today. So you can easily start the cross-sale, and more importantly, you can also market and prospect with both of these tools. We have a lot of agents who will take the link to our consumer video, put it on Facebook, put it on LinkedIn, put it on their social media platform or website with a little, couple sentences like, watch this video, it'll really help you out lowering your home health care needs in the future. Simple, easy to do. Same thing with the infographic. We have that in a PDF form, so you can use it electronically to prospect too. You could also send either of these or both to your clients in an email, make it, personalize it up a little bit and tell them to watch the video and give you a call to set up an appointment to show them the product. Now, thankfully, we have e-application platforms to cover any type of environment that you're selling in. Before COVID hit, our most popular platform was GTL e-app, which you can download from, the Apple Store or Google Play. Pop that on your tablet or your smartphone. And then when you're meeting with the client in person, you're filling out the e-app, they're signing the tablet or smartphone device with their finger, and you are all done. Thankfully, we also have a PC platform. We've had it for 15 plus years, and that platform allows you to not meet with the client, but still do an e-application for them. And let me show you a fun little video on how easy it is to use the GTL e-app platforms. And keep in mind, it doesn't matter which platform you're using, they all look and work exactly the same way. So there you go, a fun little video. It really shows you how easy the eApp platform is to use. The one caveat with using the PC platform, that's the one where you are not with the client in person. Since they have no way to sign an application or sign your device screen, you'll saw that there was a special screen on that video that said your client needs to pick up the phone, or you can conference them right into a short automated verification call. But other than that, it's a piece of cake. Even the V call is easy to do. So use the GTL eApp platforms, whichever one works for the particular way you're doing business, and you'll have a blast. And they literally take only 3 to 5 minutes to do the entire eApp. You'll notice there at the end of the video too, it said that the business is issued instantly. It really is. So once you turn an eApp into GTL on one of our platforms, doesn't matter which one, we will instantly underwrite it, and that application can be issued a couple minutes later. You get an email, the client gets an email with that information. So really slick, works great, and we were actually the first company to come out with an eApp platform on an Apple. So we've been doing this for quite a while. State availability for short-term home health care, you can see it on your screen. Hopefully you're working in a state and that you'll see that the product is approved in. Also want to mention to you, super important, we do have a special fourth quarter bonus program going on right now. This product, short-term home health care, is included in the bonus program. So you've got hospital indemnity, our precision care cancer plan, and short-term home health care products included in the fourth quarter bonus program. Long story short, if you write 10 to 24 applications during the fourth quarter, you will get $20 per app bonus. If you write a little more than that, if you write 25 to 49 apps during the fourth quarter, you will not get 20, you will get $40 per app. If you write more than 50 apps, you're looking at $60 per application as a bonus. And we have PDFs of this information or on the website, so if you need more details on it, we've got them, but it's just super simple. If you turn in enough apps, you're going to get paid that amount of money. Okay, so who is the target market for short-term home health care coverage? So the first thing is if you have clients that are taking prescription drugs, you're going to find out why I said that in just a couple of minutes. That's pretty much everybody though. Also, if you have some clients who maybe are starting to look for some kind of future care plan, a long-term care plan, short-term care plan, they just haven't gotten around to it. Sometimes they wait a little bit too long, and that long-term care policy, they just can't get it because, well, it's really unaffordable at that point, or maybe they health-wise can't qualify for it. So the product we're talking about today, it's not long-term care. However, there's a lot of uses where even if you have a long-term care plan, this plan would not be a bad one to have. Or if you can't get a long-term care plan, this one may definitely help you out along the way. Another target market that you may not have thought of is you may have some clients that are in their 40s or 50s and their parents are still living. Their parents don't have any type of plan. In some situations, the kids would like to get this plan for their parents and take care of the premium for them. Best thing about this, it's super easy to qualify for. I'm actually going to qualify all of you today for the plan. I'm going to show you a great consumer video that you can use to cross-sell this plan, and then after that, I'm going to take a look at the app questions with you, and I think you'll probably fall off your desk chair when you see how easy it is to get this plan. But first, let's take a peek at the consumer video. This is what you can share with your clients.
There's no bed like your own. And if you suffer an illness or have an accident, the last thing you would want to do is recover in an unfamiliar, hectic environment like a hospital or nursing home. Focus on your recovery in the comfort of your own home with short-term home health care insurance from Guarantee Trust Life Insurance Company. Think about your family situation. You may be reaching that age where planning for future care is necessary, or maybe your parents are reminding you they don't want to go to a nursing home. How could being unprepared for either yours or your parents' need for care affect your finances and way of life? GTL's short-term home health care insurance is more affordable than most other plan of care policies, and it pays benefits directly to you regardless of any other insurance you have. Home health care benefits kick in if you suffer a cognitive disability or can't perform 2 of the 6 ADLs, and no hospital stay is required. The base plan consists of 3 main components, and there are 3 different base plans for you to choose from to match the level of coverage you want. With the home health care benefit, your chosen plan pays a benefit for up to 360 payments for a variety of services, including skilled nursing, physical therapy, and general nursing care. With our most comprehensive plan, you can receive up to $162,000 of home health care benefits. With the home health care aid benefit, you can receive a daily benefit for each day you require the services of a home health care aid, depending on your chosen plan, and no hospitalization stay is required. Most likely, you're taking at least 1 prescription medication. With the prescription drug benefit, you can receive benefits for any prescriptions that are filled after the policy is in effect. Just filling your normal prescriptions can help offset the cost of the policy itself. Now let's see how it works. Say you're 65 years old, have the Plan A policy, and take 1 brand name prescription that you refilled 10 times over the year. A GTL short-term home health care insurance policy would pay you a total benefit amount of $250 over those 12 months. With an annual policy premium of $294.45, the net cost of the policy would be less than $4 a month. And this is not even including any home health care benefits you may receive. Policyholders can also have access to Ask Mayo Clinic services 24 hours a day. Receive personalized support and trusted medical guidance for your health-related questions from the experts at Mayo Clinic. Short-term home health care insurance from GTL is flexible and customizable, with a great set of riders for you to choose from. And with only 2 or 3 underwriting questions, you don't have to worry about a long application process or medical exams. So, for a fair premium, wouldn't you rather receive professional care at home? Now is a great time to find out more about GTL's short-term home health care insurance.
There you go. Fun little video. You can definitely share it with clients. Use it during an appointment to get the cross sale started, whatever you like. So now, as promised, I definitely want to show you how easy it is to get this plan. You can see all those things that are not going to happen at the bottom of the screen there. Long story short, if you want to get Plan A or Plan B as your base plan, you only have to answer the first 2 underwriting questions no. So the first one is basically saying, hey, are you already in a nursing home, assisted living facility, or getting home health care? If you can answer that one no, you're halfway home. Second one says, do you already have some issues with your ADLs or been diagnosed with a cognitive impairment? If you answer those 2 questions no, you get the coverage, no questions asked. Now, if you want to get Plan C, you will also have to answer the 3rd question no. But that is it. So when we compare this to some other types of short-term care plans that are out there, you can see there's not a lot of ways here that you're not going to get the coverage. Something I just want to point out at this point while I got the application up. You don't see any questions on there about, have you had a heart attack, cancer, stroke, anything like that, hospital stays. You don't see any questions in there about that. So I'll come back to that later, that point, but just want to point that out to you right now. So the plan is available from ages 61 to 85. You've got 1 set of rates, male or female, and 3 plans to choose from. The nice thing about the plan is whether you choose Plan A, Plan B, or Plan C as your base plan, you get all 3 components that the video referenced. You get that prescription drug benefit, and that benefit starts the minute your policy is in force, so you do not have to be on claim for home health care in order to start getting money from GTL for the prescriptions you take routinely. Then you've also got home health care and a home health care aid component, and we're going to get into all of those. Now, just want to throw this all out on you at once here. Don't feel like you need to memorize this. I just want to put all 3 plan components on the screen at once for one simple point. If you choose Plan A for home health care, you will automatically get Plan A for the other 2 components as well. So you cannot mix and match which plans you want depending upon which component. So you're going to get all Plan A, all Plan B, or all Plan C. So starting off with the prescription drug benefit, just like the video said, if you are taking a generic prescription or prescriptions or a brand name prescription or prescriptions, every time you refill one of those, you will get $10 or $25 from GTL. And again, this benefit starts when the policy starts. It has nothing to do with you being on claim for anything having to do with home health care. So with Plan A, you can get up to $300 per year. Plan B or C, you can get up to $600 per year. Now, generally, it's good for me to show an example, even though the video showed a good one too. But let's just say we have Plan A, we're 65. And over the course of the first 12 months that we own the policy, we get 15 prescriptions filled. Some are brand, some are generic. You can see that's going to get you $225. Your annual premium is $294.45. So having this policy, getting your benefits from GTL for the prescription drug benefits really helps lower the cost of the plan. So just to give you an idea of why this plan is so popular, folks need this type of coverage down the road, but until they do need it, it's not costing them an arm and a leg because they're taking prescriptions and getting some benefits to help offset that cost. Now, usually some RX questions or FAQs that I can take care of when I do trainings. Are you saying, well, if I just take one prescription and it's brand name and I fill it every month, that's going to get me $300, Greg? Absolutely is. So if you're taking two, you can get up to $600 if you have Plan B or C. So you can get up to the 300 or the 600, max it out, and then the next year that your policy is in force, you can start all over again. With regard to generics, they work exactly the same way. It's just going to be $10 per prescription as opposed to $25 for a brand name. Now, this is super important. That's why I put it on here as an actual slide. I want to make sure when your clients ask about this or have an expectation about getting a 3-month supply, that you know that anytime they fill a prescription, that's going to be one benefit. So if they are getting a 3-month supply, every time they get that prescription filled, it's one benefit, not 3. So you're their agent, you know what plans they have, what co-pays they have. Maybe it'll be worth it to convert that 90-day supply prescription to a monthly. And when you take the GTL benefit and include that, maybe that'll work out better for them. Last one I get is, what if my client already has a drug plan? Maybe they got Part D, or they're using one of those apps that, discount apps that you can have on your phone and walk up to the pharmacist and say, here, scan this, and my prescription is going to be 90% cheaper. We don't care. We're going to pay them their $25 or $10 per prescription refill, regardless of what their actual out-of-pocket costs are for picking up that prescription. So that's the prescription drug benefit. It's super simple, but definitely a great conversation starter. And you being their agent, you know that they're taking prescriptions, especially if you're doing their Medicare, your Med Advantage, all that stuff. You know what they're taking. You're setting them up for their drug plan. This is just a perfect segue. So getting into the second component, which is the home health care benefits. Now, this is a component where something does have to happen to them in order for the benefits to kick in. And that's going to be one of two things. Either going to be diagnosed with some type of a cognitive impairment, maybe Alzheimer's or dementia, or something functional where they can't do at least 2 of their ADLs, toileting, transferring, grooming, all those. And a good point here is just to mention the functional impairment doesn't have to be something that, when you get very old, you just can't walk anymore. It could be something temporary. Like you could fall and break your hip, or you could have a skiing accident and blow out your knee and be able to use this plan. So important to know that there's many different ways to use this plan. And speaking about somebody who may have a long-term care plan already, remember, some of those long-term care plans, they have a waiting period before the benefits actually kick in. If you have this plan, you'll be able to use this in the interim. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how long the benefits last. Important to know, this is the home health care component, and this component lasts for 360 days of benefits. Great news is that has nothing to do with the calendar year. So if you needed physical therapy once a week, it's going to take you 360 weeks, before you use this up. Or you could do it 360 days in a row. Whatever it is, whatever you need, you have until you use up 360 benefit days before this component is expired. Now, there's a restoration benefit, but I have to make sure I keep it black and white with how it restores. And the answer is, if you use up some of the 360 days or all of them, and then you recover to the point where you don't need home health care anymore, then after 180 days of not needing home health care, you get a full restoration, another 360 days. Now, that said, if you have the opposite situation where maybe unfortunately I'm diagnosed with Alzheimer's and I start using this and I use up my 360 days, well, unfortunately, we don't have a cure for Alzheimer's yet, so I'm not going to recover to the point where I don't need home health care anymore. So at that point, this part of the plan is done. So restoration depends on if you recover fully or not, and then 180 days after that, you get a full restoration of benefits. Now, when we look at how much you can get, you notice the video talked about $162,000. That would be with Plan C. How do you max out Plan A? That's a $54,000 maximum benefit. Well, you can see that with Plan A, you get a certain amount of money for certain services being taken care of for you. Like if you're getting physical therapy, that's a $75 benefit. But you see at the bottom of the screen, I can get up to $150 per day. So maybe if I need physical therapy and speech therapy, unfortunately, maybe I had a stroke. So those two I would probably need. Get them both done on the same day. You're maxing out your $150 per day. And if you take $150 per day times 360 days of benefits, you get $54,000. Now you can see you get the same care options for Plan B, but you get a little more money. So the max you can get with Plan B per day is $300. The max you can get for Plan C is $450. So you see when you take the $450 times 360 days, you get $162,000. So, something that is good, always good to have an example. Let's say that I was 65 years old. I have Plan A. Unfortunately, I had a stroke. And in that situation, I need both speech and physical therapy. I'm going to have that person or persons come do that home health care the same day. So I max out my $150 per day. And if I needed that for just 10 days, that's $1,500 right there. And you do remember that the policy premium for me as a 65-year-old Plan A was less than $300 a year. So home health care, this is the third component, and it's home health care aid benefits. And I'll just say generically, the home health care aid is generally coming to help with your ADLs. Now, we're not defining that as such, but that's generally what the home health care aid is coming to the house for. So you can see with Plan A, it's $40 per day. B is $80, C is $120 per day. Now, some nice things, you don't need a hospital stay before this kicks in, so you can use it. If you want to know how many days you get with home health care aid, you get 60. And that 60 has nothing to do with the calendar year, so you can use them up as needed. Same restoration that we talked about earlier. If you use all of these up or just some of them up, and then you are healthy for 180 days, not needing this, you get a full restoration. Even if you don't, though, you get Plan A, that's up to $2,400 home health care aid benefits, all the way up to $7,200 with Plan C. That's a good chunk of money to definitely help folks out so they don't have to take that money out of their pocket. And again, with all these components we're talking about, GTL is going to pay you this amount of money regardless of what your actual out-of-pocket expenses or copays are. Definitely tell folks that there's a 6-month pre-ex with this plan. I actually had a great example happen to me when we first launched this plan, and I found it was a great way to explain how the 6-month pre-ex works. So basically, I had a lady call me. She was an agent. Her husband just got a short-term home health care plan, but while he was applying for it, he was actually being treated for cancer. So as I mentioned earlier, there's no questions on the application about if you have cancer or anything like that, knockout question wise. So she said, well, Greg, how if my husband needs short-term home health care, he's currently being treated for cancer, how's this going to work with him, the 6-month pre-ex? So it's pretty simple. If the client needs home health care due to the cancer, they're not going to be able to use this plan until they've had it in force for at least 6 months. After 6 months, they can use it. On the other hand, the person has cancer, they get this plan, and they start needing home health care because maybe they fell and broke their hip. They can use it right away because breaking their hip had nothing to do with that pre-existing condition of cancer. So this is not a plan that you have to wait 6 months to use. Only for pre-existing conditions would you have to wait. As mentioned in the video, if you get this policy, you get access to the Mayo Clinic's online symptom checker. The site works great. A lot more drill down questions than you'll see on any of the other ones online, and a lot more algorithms built in to help drill down to what you actually may have, as opposed to giving you some scary, wide-ranging options of what you may have. So the pricing, super important here. Make sure to explain to the clients that the prices for this plan will increase every few years. So I'll give you a great example. The issue age range is from 61 to 85, but let's just say that I got it at age 65 and I got plan A. So I'm going to pay $24.54 per month for the plan. And when I turn 71 years of age and my policy hits its anniversary, that's when the rate is automatically going to go up to $32.85 per month. Then when I turn 76 and I hit the anniversary date of my policy, it's going to kick up to $43.48. So that's how this plan works. Make sure you just take a couple minutes to explain to the client that every few years it's normal to see a rate increase. Now you can have this plan issued to you all the way up to age 85, but the great news is you can keep it as long as you want. We do have one final rate increase at age 86 that you're looking at on your screen. That's it. Now, most people take care of this via monthly bank draft, but we can draft for any mode. If you run into a situation where they want to be directly billed, that's a little bit more difficult given the COVID times we're in, because with a direct bill approach, first, we do not offer monthly. We only offer quarterly, semi-annual, or annual premium payments. Second thing, we need the check for the premium to come in with the paper application. So it's definitely a lot easier to just do any type of bank draft. That way you do not need to collect any money, and we will draft the plan upon the effective date that the client wants. So the infographic goes good too. If you're not going to use the video, use the infographic. It's just a nice way to explain to clients what ADLs are, what the benefits are of each component. It mentions the prescription drug on the back, the Mayo Clinic. And if you also want to prospect with this, you can certainly call GTL. We can send you some actual printed out infographics, and then you can put your stamp, sticker, staple your business card on them, toss them in the mail to your clients. I'm sure most of you have been wondering how you get your prescription drug benefits. Well, I will tell you, it could not be any easier. There's no claim form. All the client needs to do when they pick up their prescription, they take the prescription receipt and write their GTL policy number on it. Then they just toss it in an envelope, send it to GTL. Now, we have no restrictions on the frequency of them doing that. We have people who, every time they pick up a prescription, send us the receipt. We have some people that do it monthly, quarterly, annually, whatever works for them is great. I just want to let you know, it could not be easier. Just throw a copy of the prescription receipt with the policy number on it or the actual physical receipt itself. That's perfect. So if you go on claim for home health care, we have a very short claim form that the policyholder can easily fill out. In going on claim initially, anytime you're going on home health care, the doctor is going to be filling out what's called a plan of care. You would include that, and then you would also include the first bill. Now, the nice thing is, let's say down the road, another month, they have more bills, more claims. We do not need another claim form. We don't need another updated plan of care, just the bill. If your client chooses any of the riders that I'll mention to you next, same thing, short claim form, completed, send in the bill. So back to me saying, looking at the application questions, no questions about, do you have cancer? Do you have a heart attack, stroke? Have you been in the hospital lately? Those are all questions that you will generally see on a hospital indemnity plan application. However, you don't see that here. So we do have a hospital indemnity rider that you could add to one of the base plans. And that gives them a choice of 100, 200, or 300 per day if they're in the hospital. They have 2 benefit periods to choose from, 3 or 6 day benefit periods. And the cool thing is that these benefit periods restore an unlimited amount of times after 60 days of no use. So what else do we need to know? Well, there is a 30-day wait for sickness hospitalizations, no wait for accidental hospitalizations. Also super important, like the base plan, the hospital indemnity rider rates will increase on the same schedule as we showed earlier, so about every 4 or 5 years. So if you're thinking, well, this is great, why would I ever sell a standalone hospital indemnity plan from GTL? Well, the big difference is the rates on our standalone hospital indemnity plan called Advantage Plus, they remain the same as you get older. But you will run into some people who cannot get it because maybe they just were in the hospital or they just had cancer or stuff like that. This is an opportunity for you to get them some hospital indemnity coverage through the short-term home health care plan. Same 6-month pre-ex that we described earlier works for the hospital indemnity rider. Okay, a couple other options. If you have a situation where your client has a copay when they use an ambulance, this may be a perfect opportunity to pick up an ambulance rider. Ours is really simple. If you take an ambulance, you're going to get your $200 benefit, even if you're not admitted. So you can take it to the ER for an hour, come back home, you get yourself an ambulance benefit. Use it up to 4 times per year, up to $2,500 until you max it out over the lifetime of the policy. Really simple and very affordable, looking at $3 to $5 a month. Critical accident rider, we all know as you get a little bit older, the bones get a little more brittle and you may have a fall and something may break. That's what this accident rider is about. So if you fall and break your hip, you get a payout of $1,250 or $2,500, depending upon which rider choice you selected, $5,000 or $10,000. And you can see some other things that may happen to you, blowing out your knee or just, I'm from Chicago, so we get ice. If I, slip and try to break my fall and snap my wrist, I'm going to get $250 or $500. So a nice rider to have, and I can tell you I'm 56 years old. I have the $10,000 critical accident rider, and the cost of it for me is $1.86 per month. So another rider that's super inexpensive. Now there's a return of premium rider available, but if you work with me, I'm super transparent, and I'm definitely going to be that way here with you on the return of premium rider. Keep in mind, if your client does get the return of premium rider, that any prescription benefits that they are paid are counted as claim benefits. So if you buy this rider and you unfortunately die before the age of 86, you would get back the premiums that you paid GTL less any claim benefits paid. So my take on the return of premium rider is if you got a client who's going to be using that prescription drug benefit probably to the max, I would not mention the return of premium rider benefit. That's just my take. So a couple things here just at the bottom of the screen that are great news. These riders, the ambulance, critical accident, and return of premium rider, once you buy them, they do not increase in price. So keep it really simple. The base plan, the hospital indemnity rider, those will increase over time. All the other riders available do not increase. So if you want to do quoting and maybe even do an e-application, you're going to download GTL e-app onto your tablet or smartphone. Now, when you download it and open it up the first time, you're going to go create a username and login. You'll need to have your GTL agent code in order to do that. But the nice thing is, once you do that, you'll never have to remember your GTL agent code again. Now, the e-app's great. You can not only sell on it easily, but you can also cross-sell other GTL products on it too. So, but you can take your pick. If you want to do a paper app, that's totally fine with us. If you want to use GTL e-app, tablet or smartphone, great PC platform that we touched on earlier. Just keep in mind, all of these are going to be ready to go on the electric platform, and you're going to be able to get your business issued in minutes. Even if you send a paper app in, that's going to be issued in a day or two too. So that's something we've been really good with at GTL for a long, long time. Okay, so here's a couple numbers that are important for you. 800-323-6907. That's GTL sales support. So you may give them a holler if you have a question about the product, or you need some supplies mailed to your doorstep, need some infographics, maybe you need the link to the consumer video, anything like that. If you prefer to email instead of call, you can email them at agency@gtlic.com. I always like to put my email on the screen because I know you don't work 9 to 5. So my cell phone's always available. So send me an email. I'll get that email. I'll respond to you pretty darn quickly. And hopefully it'll be a question about the product and you're with a client and I can help you out quickly. And then you'll make that sale. So feel free. Don't be shy about emailing me anytime on the weekend, anything like that. I'm here to help you get that sale. So that's what I've got for you today with the plan. I hope it was kind of fun for you and it's something that really interests you. It has been a super popular plan. And one last question that I tend to get that I always like to tackle at the end is, who can provide the home health care or the home health care aid services? And it's very simple. First, they need to be registered and certified, whatever that means, in the state that they're providing the services. Some states are different, so we can't just say they have to do this blanketly. So as long as they're registered and certified to perform that care, that's one. Two, they need to work for an agency that actually can provide proof of service. So those are really the caveats with regard to who can provide the home health care or home health care aid services. And again, the products work great. So thrilled to bring it to you today. Hope you're pretty darn excited about it. And I guess we can take a peek to see if we have any questions.
Yeah, Greg, I don't see any questions yet, but we'll open up, we'll unmute everybody and just see if there's any questions out there.
Great.
Like you said, this product is, perfectly fit for people that really have some health issues, and even not. I mean, it's built around all of it. I mean, if you want some short-term home health care, it's a great product. I mean, it's simply put.
Yep.
Hello. I heard you say that the quoting system and application is available on PC. Is it also available for iPad? Did I miss that, or is it just PC only?
Yeah, so if you want to use your tablet or your smartphone, then you just download the app right onto your tablet or smartphone, and that's going to be the GTL e-app. That's what you're going to search for and download. If you want to use the PC platform, then all you're doing there is you're going to the internet on your computer, going to GTL's website, and you click on Agent Login, and then you're good to go. I'm glad you asked that question because it also gives me a good opportunity to tell you, if you're not using a PC and you're not with the client, you still have a way to do the e-app. You could use your tablet, go to the internet, log into GTL's website, and use the PC platform from your tablet or even your smartphone.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of, the questions answer themselves the way you just kind of walk through the whole product, Greg. It's, great product, like I said, and I don't see many other questions, but thanks again very much, everyone, and Greg. I mean, it's perfect.
My pleasure. If you guys ever need anything, feel free to reach out to me, sales support. We're always here to help.
All right. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great afternoon.